Hi everyone, Aidan here at the etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install this Furrion Vision S wireless backup camera system on our 2022 Forest River Salem FSX travel trailer. Obviously this is going to be a really helpful tool as a backup camera, whether we're going into a really tight parking spot at our storage lot or at a campground where we have to back the camper in. It's going to give us better visibility and reduce blind spots. But even while we're driving down the road, it wirelessly links to a screen in your car. It's a 5-inch screen that gives you pretty good visibility and gives you real-time feed and video while you're driving. So when we're going down the highway and we want to switch lanes or pass someone, we can be sure that we're fully past someone and we don't have to worry about misjudging the length of our camper, because we can see that car that we just passed in the backup camera here, and it's a pretty good fisheye lens, so we get a wide field of view and we can see a lot with it. Now, it's really cool to know what this tool can be used for and to know that it gives us a wide field of view and better visibility going down the road, but I want to see how it works and how it actually feels whenever we're driving down the road. So let's hit the road and test it out. Now, as we're merging onto the highway here, we've got Bob driving the truck so I can focus on talking, and we can see that the camera's giving us a pretty smooth video feed. We don't have anyone that we're passing right now, but we can see in the back here, we've got a truck coming up in one of the lanes over, and it's transmitting all that video pretty well. There's a slight delay and you can see a little bit of latency in the screen, but nothing crazy. This is still completely usable and giving us a good real-time video feed to see as vehicles are coming up and passing us, like this truck is right here. So we know to not change lanes until they've gotten out. It reduces our blind spot. And if we were to be passing someone else, we can see when we're fully past them to safely change back lanes. With the 492-foot range of this wireless antenna, we've got a really good video feed over our short camper, but it'll work perfectly fine for a long camper as well, because the range of this antenna is really far. The camera is going to capture a 720p feed, so it's not super HD, but it is going to be pretty good quality, much like a webcam might be on a computer. And then the display here is going to display at 480p, so not HD, but honestly, the image looks pretty good and it's showing me all the detail that I would need to comfortably use it. In the left lane now, we've got a car directly to our right. As we start to drive up, we'll eventually see it pop up in the backup camera right here. And now we know we're fully past that car. We can see when we're at a safe distance and change back over lanes and complete the pass. This is a really helpful tool because there's no second guessing and there's no wondering how far past the car we are. We can see it right here in real time. And as we move to pass this semi-truck right here, you can see it's already in the camera. That 120-degree field of view is really helpful because it gets everything that we need to see. It's got a really wide lens, so we can see everything we need to and see when we're safely past. Back from our test on the road, we can take a closer look at the camera itself. It's fully adjustable and aimable, up and down, so we can get the perfect view for whatever camper we have it on. And you can see around the edges of the lens here, we're gonna have 8 infrared LEDs. That's gonna help with nighttime visibility up to 16 feet, and the integrated IR filter on the lens is going to help reduce any sort of glaring that we might have during the day. And some other things about the camera. You can mount it up in a number of ways. A lot of campers come with a factory prep package, so it's just a plug and play install, no splicing or wiring required, so it's very easy to do in 15 minutes or less. Now, with that being said, if your camper doesn't have that prep package, you can install it from scratch. And that's going to be fairly easy to do too. Your kit comes with a 6-foot long wire lead. One end will go to the back of the camera and the other end has your power and ground. You can wire this to your reverse lights or to your running lights. Wiring it to your reverse lights, it'll automatically switch on whenever you throw it into reverse to use as a backup camera, or wiring it to the running lights will let it operate as a real-time viewing camera or just whenever the running lights are on, kind of like how you saw when we were driving down the highway. That's the way I would install it personally if you choose this method or don't have the prep package. Inside, we can take a closer look at the screen. You saw this when we were driving around, but I want to talk about the different mounting options and the features of it because there's a lot going on here. So this is the 5-inch display. You can get one that's a 4.3-inch display, and you can also get a 7-inch display, and there are some minor differences here. The 4.3-inch display only allows for functionality with a backup camera, but the 5-inch, like you see here, and the 7-inch allow for use with multiple cameras. So down the line, if we decide we want to add maybe some side marker cameras from Furrion, or you're looking at this and decide you just want to get it right out of the gate, you can. And you can pair up multiple cameras here for the rear, right, left, and even a door camera. All of these will function in real time, and we can even choose to display all 4 at once if we've got all 4 wired up. So for bigger trailers, I can see that being a real benefit. But on the smaller campers, kind of like we have today, the side marker cameras don't really do a whole lot because those are really designed for those passing cameras just to help make sure we reduce our blind spots. That's going to be more beneficial, I think, for the larger fifth wheels and travel trailers. You have 2 different mounting options included in the kit. This tabletop mounting one is going to attach in this ball and socket joint, much like the suction cup mount would. So for this one, it just sets kind of on your dashboard in place, but you could easily pop the screen off and pop it onto the suction cup mount to have it on your windshield. I will say that the screen doesn't have a really great anti-glare filter on it, so you probably want it pointed more at you in the driver's seat to get a better view of it. And for that purpose, I think the windshield mount would be my preferred way to use this, but really it's all up to you and what you prefer and what works best for your vehicle. The menu button on the right side of the screen here will bring up the menu. That gives you the option to pair new cameras or set up things and change settings, much like the mirror display. So this is really more for the left and right cams so that you can change what way they're flipped. There's an auto dim function on the monitor itself here, and among some other things like motion detection to trigger this to turn on or auto shut off. You can also adjust picture settings here and change it by camera, so ours is linked up to the rear camera, and you can change things like brightness, color, and contrast here just to get a more controlled look at the picture and what it's going to display like, so you can match this to your liking and get it looking true to life. This is also a touchscreen display, and there's a couple functions here on the main screen that you can do. Tapping this will bring up the selection of the different cameras if we have them, as well as your parking lines that you can get to pop up on the screen here whenever you're backing up. But you can see as I tap again, I can get all 4 cameras to run in unison if I wanted to. That'd be great for a real-time display while we're driving. And then the other thing here is that there is a speaker built in. So we can get someone in the back helping us back into a spot and talking through the camera, and that volume translating up through the screen into the cab here. And now we have Cooper in the backup camera demonstrating that function with the speaker. Now that we've seen the camera working and checked out some of the features that it offers, we probably want to see how it installs. This camper has the factory prep package, so it's going to really ease up the overall installation process. So let's walk through that with you now. Now the first step of our installation process is going to be removing this cover plate. Our camper has the prep package already, so we don't have to worry about any wiring or mounting up. It's really just take these 4 Phillips head screws on the end of the prep kit, removing those to reveal the cord inside. These screws are pretty short, so just be careful with them and keep track of them. As we get the last one removed, I'll set it to the side, and this cover plate will just pop right out. Now, inside, like I said, is going to be that plug with a rubber cover. Take that rubber cover off, and you can grab your camera unit. So the camera from Furrion right out of the box comes pre-assembled as if you don't have the prep package. So for our application, we're just going to go to those same 4 screw locations in the top and bottom corners, undo those, and take just the camera unit out to install in this now empty hole. With those screws removed, the whole thing will separate from the housing. The housing will not get used for our application, and you can see the male end of the plug right back here. So that just gets plugged in, and we're going to use the screws that came with the camera unit to re-secure it rather than the ones that were on the cover plate. So get that plugged in, and you do have to put a little bit of force. You'll feel it click in, and once it's clicked in, it can hold itself up a little bit, but just make sure it's fully connected, because if it's not, when you get to the pairing section, it's going to cause a lot of confusion when it's not pairing properly. get this cord fed back in. You may have to pull a little bit of slack out to kind of bend it back in on itself. I'm going to actually set the screw down. And once it's in position, you can grab the screws and run it back down. We can then take the antenna and thread it onto the camera unit. And I'm going to try to rotate this and orient it so it's face up and a little bit out so it doesn't block our light. We can then mount up our screen. Now inside the truck or vehicle, whatever you're using to pull your camper, you've got a suction cup mount or a tabletop stand right here. For the purposes of our video and being able to move this around and show you, I'm just going to use this mount right here, although for me personally, I'd probably opt for the suction cup mount on the windshield. So there's a ball and socket joint on the back. We can just pop that together. There's an antenna on the top that we can point up. We'll remove the screen protector last, but then on the back of the unit, through this hole right here, we can pass through our power cord right here, and it'll plug into the back of the screen. Then on the other end, it'll just plug into the 12-volt outlet on our vehicle. We can now walk through the pairing process. There's a button on the top right side of your screen to enter the menu, select pairing, and select whatever camera you want. So 4 is our rear camera. We'll select that and then run to the camera and press the pairing button. And this is linked to the running lights on our prep package, so make sure that your vehicle's running lights are on. And after it's successfully paired, it'll pop on and you can see the backup camera. Now from here, we can make any aiming adjustments we might need, but I'd say right where we have it is pretty good. You can see a little bit of our bumper in the back, so we can see the very rear of the camper, and we get good visibility outward and to the sides. Once everything's paired up, make sure you have your running lights on your vehicle on, because the prep package is actually linked up to the running lights of our trailer. So they need to be on in order for the camera to work. But once it's paired successfully and those running lights turn on, it'll pair up and show the backup camera right here. From there, you can check out the aim. I'd say ours is actually pretty good right now, but we can angle it up or down if need be. We can see just a little bit of our bumper at the back end of the camper, as well as pretty far back and out to the sides. And once everything's paired up and aimed how you like it, then you're done. The system overall is very straightforward to get set up, and especially if you've got the prep package, then you're good to go. And that'll do it for our look at and installation of this Furrion Vision S wireless backup camera system. I think overall it's a very simple process. The fact that this camper came with the factory prep package really made the whole process easy and straightforward, and we were done in less than 15 minutes. But that'll do it for our look at the Furrion Vision S wireless backup camera system on our 2022 Forest River Salem FSX travel trailer. Thanks for watching.